Hi everyone, my name is Varney and I am so lucky to be founder and Chief Enabling Officer of ICANN Network. ICANN Network is very special for me. The words formed in my head when I reflected back on all the support, mentorship and empowerment I had received from my family, my teachers and family friends when I was growing up with Asperger's. I was diagnosed with Asperger's in 1992, a very, very different time. At that time, my parents were told a whole lot of messages about autism that were very deficit focused. I'm pleased to say that in 2020, I hear many conversations of people in the diagnostic process that indicate that our conversation on autism is becoming more positive. ICANN Network for me really started with my parents. My parents were told negative messages of my future, told to lower their expectations of what I could achieve, and decided, you know what, stuff that. We're going to raise our son with a positive outlook, we're going to tell him he can do things, and we're going to help him play to his strengths. And that's exactly what my parents did. That was an attitude and behaviour that my siblings followed, that family friends followed, and also that was very important to a sprinkling of teachers that really made a world of difference to my primary and secondary schooling when I was going through school. So ICANN Network, when I was older, was my concept for how I could give back to the autistic community and create a network that was autistic-led and could deliver the same empowerment to teenagers and kids and adults on the spectrum that I had been so blessed to receive when I was growing up. In 2013, I took this vision to a TEDx talk. I was very lucky for it to be well received, and in the wake of the momentum from that talk, I came together with some autistic mates, Penny Robinson and James Ong, and together we ran the first ICANN Network meeting on the 19th of September 2013. Around us, there were a lot of people that said that autistic people could not run their own company. And we really sought to prove them wrong. We decided, let's set up Australia's first autistic-led organisation. Let's set up business streams where we can deliver mentoring services and employ autistic people. We were an audacious team. We really wanted to see an organisation that could pioneer an ICANN approach to autism across the lifespan. Today, ICANN Network delivers group mentoring programs in primary and secondary schools. Our primary school program is called ICANN Imagination Club. We deliver an online group mentoring program that is nationwide so that any kid or young person from about the ages of grade 4 right up to the age of 20 can access us no matter who they are, no matter where they are, and no matter what school they go to. We also run a speakers agency where our autistic staff can share their insights both from their lived experience of autism and also their privilege to mentor autistic kids and teenagers. Our vision as an organisation is a world that embraces autism. Our purpose as an organisation is to prove what autistics can do. We as an organisation, we enable, we value integrity, we are open-minded to people, we build networks around each other, we are gutsy, and what that means is that we push ourselves to grow, we don't push ourselves to breaking point. And above all, we are positive. The concept of mentoring was a really important one for me personally because when I was growing up, my main issues were my anxiety. My anxiety was my biggest Achilles heel. It was something that could mean that I found social situations at school, especially extracurricular activities, really daunting, and at times I had a crippling sense of fear towards them. But my network had some incredible individuals that really championed me, and they really instilled in me the value of being positive and finding strengths in every single situation. My grandpa, Bob, was a man that was physically disabled. Whilst he was in a wheelchair, he still had an incredible sense of humour and a great mental strength about him. And it was his resilience, his courage and his patience that really rubbed off on me. And I continue to carry his positive attitude with me every single day of my life. My high school teacher was a transformative teacher named Christine Horvath. She was someone that showed for me the value of leveraging people's interests. It's our interests and the ideas our interests help us have and the projects that our interests inspire us to develop that can give us a great sense of self-esteem. And so I'm proud to say that the strong examples of my parents, Lisa and John, my grandparents, Delia, Bob and Margaret, my family friends, and my teacher, Mrs. Horvath, really were wrapped up in the program that you're learning about now. We, in our program, relentlessly leverage people's strengths and interests so that we can develop their confidence, their optimism, their belonging, and their pride in being autistic, and their self-acceptance. These outcomes are throughout all our work in ICANN Network. Our logo at ICANN Network depicts the world's most natural spectrum, which is the Northern Lights or the Aurora Borealis. And that is something that we have right throughout our branding. Our goals as an organisation are that we develop as a social enterprise with a 50% difference, where 50% of our team is autistic. Goal 2 is to build a national mentoring program by and for autistic people. I should say that we work with many allies of autistic people. I hire many people who are not on the spectrum, but who have a deep connection and feel a real affinity with supporting and empowering autistic people. So in the staffing team I'm so lucky to lead, I have 33 autistic staff out of 44 staff overall. And those staff are based right throughout Queensland, Victoria, New South Wales, and they deliver through online mentoring now a nationwide program. Our third goal is to ignite a movement that can drive a nationwide rethink of autism. Because it's so important that we rethink autism so that Australia really does get all the benefits that autistic Australians have to offer. Our fourth goal is to partner with organisations who are ready to leverage the strengths of autistic people. And tonight, or via our website, you're joining with us as part of that partnership. In our ICANN Imagination Club primary school program, we work with a very broad range of students, not just autistic students. Students are informed that they're in the club because they have big imaginations. And so that simple criteria sees us work with students who might have a very broad range of neurodifferences, whether it's dyslexia, ADHD, autism, or it also might just be students who have some social anxiety or just need a confidence boost. Our high school program has 2 stages. So if you're a parent who's here for their first time with a student in the high school program, then we really do have a vision of a journey to develop the communication, leadership, and networking skills of your young person. Stage 1 of our program is called Foundations with ICANN. And what you can expect is to see us talk to your young person about other autistic students and leaders. And the purpose of that is really to help develop autistic pride and self-acceptance in young people. As much as possible, we want to involve the students in the running of the sessions. And so what you can also expect to see is your student involved in different activities creating ideas of what the sessions could include and adding their own spin on the different topics that we like to explore, whether that might be identity, whether that might be public speaking, or whether that might be their end of year project, where we bring our students together for celebrations with their parents, or even through our Autism Expos, which are student career expos where autistic students can put the oar in autism. Our expos are either 1 or 2 day events held across our regions in which students in our program can give a 5 to 10 minute talk on an area of their interest. They deliver it to a crowd that includes students in the program, teachers from other schools, members of the community, and members of the local business community. Because alongside at the presentations, we run exhibits where both students and employers can exhibit their different projects. And the purpose of this is to expose autistic students to great employment pathways and ensure that local employers can see the great interests, strengths, and skills of autistic students in our high schools. We run these expos in Greater Melbourne, in Southwest Victoria, in Goulburn Murray, Victoria, and also in Queensland. Stage 2 of our high school program has a focus on pathways. And what that looks like is ensuring that returning students in the program are given opportunities to co-run activities. So this practically, in a 1 hour group mentoring session, might look like helping to deliver the instructions for different games and discussion groups. It might look like facilitating those discussion groups and helping with debriefs in teamwork activities. And of course, it's also about role modeling to the new students what a good autistic mentor can look like. We find that having high expectations of our students can go so far in developing the confidence of our autistic teenagers. Stage 3 of our program is for students that have been in our program for a while and who might really aspire to be a mentor for other autistic students, and maybe, if they want, even work for ICANN Network one day. A big question you might have is, how am I going to get my young person to the first group mentoring session? My advice would be to head to our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/the ICANN Network, where you can show your young person so many different videos of autistic mentors in ICANN Network, reflecting on what they've got out of the program and giving advice on, breaking through anxiety to come to the first session and experience what an ICANN group mentoring session can be like. Thank you so much for listening. Please direct your questions to your network leader and your regional manager, and I'm so glad that you're part of ICANN Network.